Somebody slipped in some steroids to that intro song again because I had him under control the last time, but he just came bucking out of the gates this time.
Huh? I can't hear. I'm deaf. Did you speak? You said something, didn't you? That was loud as hell.
That was louder than
I
hell.
am legally deaf now. But maybe that's part of the charm is just the surprise. We never know what's coming.
That's true. That's true.
Never know how loud it'll be.
One way to keep your listeners entertained is just deafen them from the start.
Keeps your audience on its toes. Keeps them paying attention.
We got 10 new listeners, but 5 new lawsuits, but it's fine.
Damn, that's like a 50% lawsuit rate. How's your week been, you old rooster?
Oh, the first week back at work after vacation always is like, why am I doing this?
Seriously. What is my life?
What is my life?
Why am I here? Who am I? What is this?
Yeah, it's not just work, it's like everything, right? I mean, when you go on vacation, that's the best part about going on vacation is everything is kind of done for you. People, you're eating at restaurants, room service is cleaning up after you. So it's like, feels great. And then you come home and you're like back to peasant mode where I have to do everything myself.
I know it is really tough in all seriousness. I have that same issue. I mean, we joke about it, but it's so uprooting and that transition is tough. I think I have a really tough time with transitioning or change, like gear shifting. And when you're on vacation or even the weekend, like when it's the weekend and you get to relax,
I know.
You get into that mode and that mode of being where you feel safe and you don't have to worry about responsibility. It's not just worrying about responsibilities. It's the stress of, you know what it is? It's like, for me, it's like as I go through my week and I do all the little things that I think I have to do and that I'm supposed to do, my brain gets onto a track of accepting that I'm doing those things. And when I go to the weekend, my brain sort of happily shifts onto a new track of not thinking about those things. And so when I shift back onto that other track to go back into the week, my brain forgets how to accept that was my life during the week and that's who I am and what I'm doing and what I've chosen to spend my time doing.
Right.
It's like during the week after Monday and Tuesday have gone by, like by middle of the week, I'm totally buying into it again. I'm like, this is me. This is who I am.
Yeah.
It's like an identity crisis almost.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I'm sure like this is probably something that most people have in common. Yeah, like most people have the weekend blues. Like I think Sunday night is the reflection point where people are like, how can I break free? Or, why am I doing what I'm doing? Because the Monday is looming over you with like with a club ready to just smack you back into work mode.
Well, it's like every track you're on in life, because you can't do a million different things every other day and expect to get anywhere or make any traction with any one of them. So it's like there's commitment involved in decisions you make, which I think is why a lot of people really struggle with decisions, because let's face it, those type of decisions, what path do I want to be on, at least for the foreseeable future? It's kind of a tough one, because any path you choose, you will have to forego other paths, at least for the time being. I find myself constantly returning to the same sort of head noise questions of who am I and what am I doing and why am I doing what I'm doing? And I think things like meditation help to sort of calm that. And I mean, like, let's face it, at the end of the day, I don't think it's super helpful to spend a lot of mental time and mental energy and time and emotional energy, wrapping your head around those same questions over and over, because they sort of distract you from just being present and being able to make actual progress with whatever the fuck you're doing at the time.
Right.
So it's like, how much does that mental noise help me? I don't know, like, not really. I mean, maybe a little bit, because you do have to make intentional choices. You do have to make decisions about just at least vaguely where you think you want to be headed with what you're doing or your life or what you're trying to get good at or whatever it is. So you do have to have a general sense of direction, but yeah, the head noise gets a little too dense sometimes, and the questions my head wants to ask itself get repetitive to a point where it doesn't feel productive.
You're right. Like, there's only so much you can kind of delve into those questions, because you don't want to, like, put all your mental stamina into that, to thinking about that, because you gotta actually work and kind of, like, focus on that, for the week. So yeah, it can be, yeah, it's a tough balance. And I mean, like I said, I think a lot of people go through it, because you know it's something that you see almost everyone struggle with, because there's a very few people who get to do what they love doing full time for work, and power to those people. Some of them are born into it, some of them make it happen, but however they made it, however they have it, it's really great for them. But it's something that almost everybody is struggling with right now, especially with the way things are. Like, because it's like a lot of the things that people love doing, they can't financially support themselves doing it. So
it's been a weird transitional time for the world, where the last 10 years, it's like there have been whole industries that just have changed or disappeared or aren't even really viable anymore. I mean, it's like, just one little example. It's like there was a time when in the arts or in film and music, every project was so compartmentalized into all its different parts, and there would be a specialist for each part, and he made at bare minimum a living wage from his specialty. Like there would be a sound engineer, and it's like, oh, what do we need? Well, we need a sound engineer. All right, let's call up the best sound engineer we know, and labels would work with studios, and then those studios had hired sound engineers. So yeah, it's weird, because now everybody does everything. So like we were just talking about with your brother Krishna, it's like you kind of have to wear a lot of different hats today. You have to be a marketer, you have to be a sound engineer, you have to buy the equipment, you have to learn to use it, you have to become an expert at like 5 different things basically in order to really make it in the arts. And honestly, the only other way would be if you have a lot of money, and that's either gonna come from your parents, because it's or you're gonna be 40 when you finally get to put your stuff out, or I don't know, not just named a random age. It could be younger or older. But I mean, that's kind of been my experience, has just been, I didn't, I mean, my God, it's cost tens of thousands of dollars to like make my record. And this is not a lamenting, self-pitying rant. At least it's not supposed to be. It's more so supposed to be a reflection on the times that we are in. I mean, I recently met someone who works for a record company, or a music publishing. They work for like Warner.
Okay. Interesting.
Warner Music.
That's a pretty big company.
Yeah, huge. And they work for them. But it was interesting picking her brain. I hate that expression, picking her brain. Sounds like I'm Hannibal Lecter or something. But that got dark. But yeah, like I was asking her questions, and she literally said, record labels don't send A&R people out anymore to check out or to examine or new talent. They simply look at the charts This is literally what she said. I'm not like making this up. Record labels today, they look at the charts, the music charts. They see who is charting, and they try to sign some of them. In other words, you're not going to even have a shot at getting a record deal today unless you're already probably like in the charts.
Right.
Which and so then the next question is, well, how do you get in the charts? Well, you have to release a professional radio ready, professionally produced, mixed and mastered album. Yeah. Oh, well, what does that cost? $50,000, maybe $100,000, maybe 30 if you're lucky, maybe 30 grand if you're like really conservative. And it's like, that's a lot of money, like for most people. It's like, Rick Beato actually recently did a whole video about this.
I was just going to say, like,
did you see that?
When you were telling me about all this, I was just going to say, I saw a Rick Beato video where he says, something like, I think the topic was, are only rich people becoming musicians these days? Like, because that was, I think something like that. That was the name of the video. And in it, he was basically saying the same thing that you said, which is that to become a musician these days, you need all this stuff, and you need to basically have the money to either pay for it or you have to do it all yourself. Because record companies are no longer in, just finding like people who they believe in and saying, here's a whole bunch of money, go out and do what you do.
No.
Because back in the day, they would do that. They would maybe pick like 10 potential people who had, they saw had potential. They would fund them. And even if 2 or 3 of them made it somewhat big, they would make their money back. That's how they would do it. That's how movies work too. That's how movies used to work. They used to have a slate. They would say like, we're going to fund these 10 movies. Even if 1 or 2 of them get big, we'll still make our losses for the other 8 and then more and then some more.
100%. On a positive note about this topic, because it can be depressing for creatives and artists who want to try to make it, because I'm definitely not wanting to send a message of doom and gloom. I don't believe that it has to be doom and gloom. I will say Rick Beato's video about it, it was a little doom and gloom. Like, it was a little depressing, but it was also just him being as honest as he was able to be. Yep. But what I will point out, though, just to lean towards the positive side that I do see, a couple things about it. One, Rick Beato in that video about how only rich kids can make it today, he also did say that the problem with a lot of these young rich kids, because everybody wants to get famous when you're super young, like James Dean. That's what we all want. We don't want to wait. We don't want to wait for anything. We want it now. Right. So these young kids who have rich, not just rich parents, but rich and supportive of their art parents. Yeah. You can have rich parents. They might just not care about you or what you're doing. Yeah. That's a possibility. My dad's a doctor. I've said it before on this show. I didn't get any support from him to speak of for my artistic journey. So it's possible to have well-off parents who don't want to help you. Right. So specifically kids who have, and I'm not saying my dad didn't help me in life or didn't help me pay for college, which he did, or other things. But specifically this career choice of mine to go into the arts, my parents, not super supportive, especially my dad. Yeah. So, but there are kids, and I've met a couple of them who have these rich parents, actually richer than mine, to be honest, who just give them whatever they need.
I know. They're really invested in
you need kids. 20 grand? Oh, the sound engineer at the studio you want to hire wants 20 grand? Okay, how do I wire it to him? Yeah. It's like that. I mean, that's not most people's story, though. And that's the point of Rick Beato's video is not everybody has that situation to fall on, back on or to launch them when they're... So, but again, to lean on a positive note, Rick Beato in his video, he did say that what he's noticed is that a lot of these young, rich kids, and by the way, I'm not saying all artists who make it today are young, rich kids. That's not the case. Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of them are, at least according to Rick Beato, and economically, it does make sense that they would be.
Yeah.
because it's damn expensive to do this stuff. But what he did say is that a lot of them don't have a voice. Like, a
Yeah.
lot of them don't have anything worth singing about because they haven't really gone through life yet because, one, they're really young. But on top of being really young, they've had a pretty sheltered, cushy, wealthy life.
Yeah.
And they don't really have much interesting to say. And they haven't fully formed as a human being yet.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's if you don't really have any conflicts or things working against you in life, it's kind of tough to write songs.
Yeah. It comes
So,
back to the source
yeah.
of the art kind of thing. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, what are you gonna say? I mean, I guess if it's rap music, most of all they do is brag about things. So I guess if you're at least in a lot of rap, so if you have a lot of money, I guess just brag about it. But
Yeah, I guess certain genres benefit, but yeah, I mean, I guess if you, because I mean, but it's also like you might, if you have a good producer, you might have like a catchy beat, then you might go somewhere, but you may not have staying power.
You
As
probably
compared to
won't have
some of the
staying
other
power,
ones.
but so that was a positive note because that gives hope to the people who are in the toil and have the trial of trying to scrape together the money or save the money or spend the years honing their craft and don't. I mean, look, let's face it, it can backfire if you have someone handing you money. I mean, to be honest with you, when I was really young and sort of just starting out, if someone had just handed me a bunch of money, I don't think it would have gone to like really great use. I don't think I would have known exactly how to allocate those funds or where to spend it. So, there you gain not only a voice as an artist and a songwriter as you age, but you gain stories and life experience and perspective. I mean, when you're like a really young artist, you almost have to kind of fake some of those things because you kind of don't really have them yet.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of times artists who get really big from songs they write when they're really young, they're almost kind of in a character. Like they have to almost kind of build a character for themselves because it doesn't exist yet.
Right.
Because they haven't lived enough life yet. So being older, you have that advantage of experience and stories and wisdom and stuff. But you also have you've learned a lot more about your craft. You know how to allocate those funds. If, when you do get money to do what you need to do, you'll know what to do with it, and
Right.
you'll be making those calls more intelligently than probably you would have at 20 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, so what I would say to young artists is just, if you're 20 years old and you're like, I want to make it, there's no reason for you to lose hope or to give up on it or anything. More so just be aware that you will have to come up with that money somehow at some point to record your stuff. So you're either going to have to try to figure out a way to record stuff in a really cheap way, or if that's not going to do it for you, then you'll have to come up with the money. And there's ways to do it. You could take out a credit card. I mean, a lot of people would discourage that, but hey, if it's your only option, I mean, that's essentially what record labels were doing. They were giving people a line of credit. I mean, they weren't just handing them free money. They would give them a large advance to make their record, but that band would still have to pay back that money over time from their future earnings.
Yeah.
Not to mention the label would own the songs, the recordings usually.
Yeah.
So the band couldn't even hold on to those. So you're going to avoid all those legal battles. You're going to own your stuff. You're going to self-finance it. So yeah, taking out a credit card, for 10 or 20 grand to record your EP, guess what? That's not that different than what a record label would be doing for you, except that you're beholden to the credit card company, not to a label. But anyway, yeah.
But another thing though is if you really like an artist and you connect with them, don't ever fall for that thing that people are like, oh my god, yeah, he went out to LA, he met one person, he got really famous, or like, oh yeah, they recorded one song right out of college and got really famous. Yeah, don't believe that shit. If you really like somebody, go look him up and look him up on Wikipedia or wherever and just look at their story. Most of the time, it's a long, long process to get where they did.
Yep.
Like, it's like they started, they failed, They had bandmates who came and went, record labels that fell apart, like all kinds of things they went through before they actually eventually got there. So like probably if you're a young artist who wants to get started, the best thing you can do is just get started. Like don't even think about it too much, because yeah, there's going to be a lot of ifs and buts and this and that, but you
Oh
can't predict
man.
everything. There's too many variables out there, especially
Yeah.
with art.
And it's absolutely ridiculous to allow yourself to get discouraged by, like, for example, what one person might have said or might say.
Yeah.
Because whoever is speaking in that tone is not the expert they think they are. Because if they were, they wouldn't be discouraging. That's
No.
coming from their own insecurity. And if they're insecure, then they don't have all the answers either. So don't get discouraged, especially by just what one person might have said.
Yeah.
And just develop your own sense of taste and your own compass, because I really don't personally believe you can fake it in terms of faking what kind of art brings you joy or what you're genuinely inspired to do. I don't think you can sort of mastermind it. I mean, to some extent, yes, but like I don't think you can be something that you are not.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, and people might say, well, what about the people who write those catchy pop songs that get yeah, because they love those songs. That's because they want to do that. They like writing bubblegum pop songs.
Yeah.
And that's great for them. And maybe they're good at it, but if you don't like that, then don't do that. It's not going to work for you, type thing.
No, yeah, it's the worst thing you can do is try to fake something. Plus, like a lot of those bubblegum pop songs usually have a lot of writers behind them.
These days, yeah, especially these days. But, oh, my God, there'll be like 12 writers.
I know. I was surprised. Like, I think there's...
Ridiculous.
I'm sure you heard that Bruno Mars song, Apathy, whatever. It's very famous. My daughter loves it because it's a fun song.
Is it an old song or is it new?
No. I mean, I think old by
Depends who you ask.
Relatively, like I think it's like maybe 1 year old or something, or maybe 2 years old.
I don't know if I know it.
It's really like it's really, really famous.
Do you like it?
I think the kids like it. Yeah, I think it's okay. I mean, it's way too poppy for me, but I like that she likes it, and I enjoy it because she likes it. But Rick Beato covered it because he was like he was like. Listening to the songs that it was it was one of those videos where it was like listening to the songs that were nominated for the Grammys or something. I like watching that stuff because I'm like I'm always like let's listen to some new music and most of what Rick Beato likes I kind of like too. So I was like, let's see what he's recommending or what he's listening to or what he thinks about it. And he said like that song Apathy, he's like it has like
Apathy? What's it called? How do you spell that?
It's just APT, Bruno Mars featuring Rose, but it's pronounced Apathy. It's like
Is that an acronym?
No, I don't know. It's I think she's Korean or Japanese. I'm really sorry. I don't want to general. I think just that term is another language. I really don't know enough about
That's
it.
okay.
If you love Apathy and you're cringing right now, I'm really sorry. I don't know much about this. How dare he besmirch Apathy? Cancel.
Sounds like maybe you can order it at a pho restaurant. I don't know. Maybe it's food.
I'd like an Apathy, please.
Yeah. But wait, so you showed it to Zoe and she really likes it?
I didn't show it to her. She was like, came home one day and at her daycare they have like dance parties. So I think it played over there. Yeah.
So cute.
And she really liked it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know they dance to like a bunch of songs like Barbie. I'm a Barbie girl. All those.
Now I
like,
do like that song,
songs.
by the way.
Oh yeah,
I'm a Barbie girl.
Yeah.
That's a great song. Yeah,
that's a huge song. Yeah,
Aqua. That's a good song.
That's right. Yeah,
that's a damn catchy melody.
Damn catchy. It has staying power. It was big when I was like in India. It was huge in the 90s in India. It was huge.
Oh,
and,
it was huge here too.
Yeah, and like look at it, 30 years later, it's still relevant. Like people are still like, listening to it.
When we lived in Koreatown together,
oh my God,
you were snoozing. Your like mouth was hanging open. I think you were snoring. And Megha and I were like, hey, let's try this thing. Let's do this prank on him. We put headphones on your head and we just started blasting I'm a Barbie Girl by Aqua. And you slept through a good portion of it. Yeah, I don't. And matter of fact, I don't think you ever woke up. I think we had to wake you up and
I
be
don't
like,
think I woke up. Yeah,
I don't
it
think you
probably
woke up.
worked its way into my dream. It happens
Yeah, I
sometimes.
think I remember you saying something like when you came to, you said something like, "I thought it was part of a dream I was having."
Yeah.
So funny.
So ridiculous.
Oh my
So I
God.
still fall asleep sometimes to like music, or like to watching a show. So I think my brain is just very good at tuning it out for the most part. Yeah. So
That's
yeah.
really funny. Do you talk in your sleep?
No, I know, and I know you do.
I do.
You scared.
Oh yeah.
Matt has scared the hell out of me sometimes.
Zashi will tell you that. Because sometimes I'll sort of have a vague memory the next day of her being a little mad at me
Okay.
or laughing or having some kind of reaction, and I don't know why she did that. And then she'll tell me, "Oh, you were talking in your sleep or something." But just the other night, a couple nights ago, according to her, I said in the middle of the night, "I prefer tropical plants over other plants."
Dreaming about
I was
figs, are we?
Yeah, I was like, I prefer tropical plants. That's what I prefer. And I was like very specific about that. So yes, I talk in my sleep. It's confirmed.
It's really so. Yeah, there was one time we were in Koreatown where used to sleep in the living room, and when I was
on the
on the
futon.
way to the way to the bathroom, it was dark, and I don't know, you said something like, "How'd you get there?" And I was scared, jumped out of my skin. I jumped out of my skin.
Oh
I was
my
like, "What the
God.
hell?" Because it was dark, and I was half asleep. I was like, "What the hell was that?"
It's
Oh
like,
my
I know,
goodness.
like sometimes it's borderline creepy. Yeah.
Speaking about
Yeah.
relaxing, listening to stuff, going
Yeah.
to sleep. I have a question for you, which
Oh,
has
nice.
bothered me. Matt and me, we have a lot of things in common in terms of what we like, what we don't like, movies, music, stuff like that. But one thing that he likes that I've never been able to get into
Yeah.
is ASMR. Did I say
Oh,
it right?
nice. I'm glad you brought that up because I
Yeah.
sent you a video the other day.
Yeah,
So you saw that.
a little bit, yeah, and this is like I'm gonna. My wife also not likes, but she also watches some kind of ASMR. But before I get to
Okay.
that, I kind of want to ask you, like,
Yeah.
what is it about it that you like so much?
Well, I find it really soothing and relaxing. I mean, it's like the rest of the world melts away and it's just this soothing voice. I mean, it's a sense of personal attention. I get the same feeling when I go to the hospital or the doctor.
Okay.
I like going to the doctor because they sort of give you personal care and attention. And I think I'm not always great about scheduling the time, making the time in my schedule for like self-care or for sort of pampering myself. Like I just don't do that, or at least I don't plan for it.
Right.
And what I love about appointments, it feels like an appointment to take care of myself, where other people are like really care about me and they're being really nice to me and they're saying nice things. And so there are some ASMR videos literally called like confidence boosting ASMR where they'll literally give you compliments. I guess maybe some people are starved for compliments, or at least feel like they are, or just want to feel loved and reassured. Not that I'm not loved, but I mean, hey, the more love, the better.
Yeah.
And, it's just very comforting to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I kind of know what you mean about that. It's like it is like, it's. I feel like it's the same reason some people get massages or go to like get their hair done, nails done, stuff like that. It's just like for a small moment of time, you're given a lot of attention and care. Yeah, it feels kind of like intimate and personal, but not in like a sexual way or anything. It just feels kind
Yeah.
of like relaxing and calming.
Yeah. There is
yeah.
a slight kind of cringe factor to it, where it almost makes you uncomfortable or on the verge of being uncomfortable or feeling awkward. But for me, it's like it's a game of how close it gets to the edge while then pulling it back. And it like never goes over the edge of being like too uncomfortable. I think that's kind of where the tingles come from. It's like a sense of someone's talking to you in a way that maybe they're not supposed to, or that is out of the ordinary, especially that a stranger would not normally speak to you in this way.
Right.
But that's kind of where the tingles come from for me, because it's sort of a strange experience that's out of the
Interesting.
ordinary.
Yeah.
And I do like things that are sort of strange or out of the ordinary, especially when they're unplanned or spontaneous, which is why I like awkward interviews. It's kind of like Curb Your Enthusiasm, the way that show has so many awkward scenarios,
Right. Right.
but it packages it in such a way where the average person can enjoy the secondhand awkwardness and just feel relieved that they're not physically actually there. I think there's almost a little bit of that with ASMR for me, that it feels like this stranger is talking to me and saying these awkward things, but I also know that they're not there. And there's
Right.
that part of my brain that knows we are physically separate, which keeps me safe from
Yeah.
actually having to have the obligation of responding to the awkwardness.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
like, for example, if I'm in, like, there's nothing I hate more than awkwardness if I'm in the situation with the person. Like someone like Mac, like I remember one time, because he was the most awkward kid you'll ever meet in your life, almost.
Mac? Oh yeah, right, right. Yes.
Our code name for
Yeah.
the friend we had. uh, or the friend I had that you indulged. It's like Mac would say things at parties or in front of other people that you just aren't allowed to say or aren't supposed to say, that should never be said, but he would just say them as if that was totally okay.
Right.
And I mean, I was definitely entertained by it, but it also was super uncomfortable and awkward. I mean, there were times I would be in situations with that guy, I felt like I could cut the awkwardness in the air with a knife and it would bleed.
Yeah.
Like that's how thick the awkwardness was with him, but he was impervious to it. He couldn't feel it.
Yeah.
Like he
yeah.
didn't know it was there.
Yeah.
He was oblivious to the fact that he had just created a toxically awkward scenario. So that was his superpower, or perhaps his super downfall, maybe both.
Maybe. Yeah.
But so I think with ASMR, it's kind of nice because these strangers come on the screen, and they just say and do these strange things. But you don't have to worry about it because it's just a recording. They're not there. They're not actually there.
They're not actually in front of you. But to put it into context, it's like you're listening to these guys through headphones, and they're using these really specialized mics that captures the sound really.
Water pouring.
Yeah. So you hear it really, really clear. And by the way, it's not limited to people like
There's a sound for you.
doing. Yeah, I can hear that. By the way, it's kind of nice.
Yeah, it is.
It's making me
nice,
want to
right?
pee, but it's nice. Just kidding.
That's funny.
Yeah, but like it's that's one form of ASMR. But I have seen other forms of it too. Like my daughter watches a form of ASMR. She watches these toy unboxing videos. Where like you don't see the person, you only see like their point of view. It's usually a woman with really long nails, and she's like unboxing like these like Play-Doh toys, and she's like tapping them, like
yeah.
as she opens
That's
them, popping
ASMR
them,
for
and
sure.
like I'm just like, and my daughter's watching it. She likes it. She's like, this is, she's 3. She doesn't totally like explain why she likes it, but she just does.
That's
so
funny.
yeah, I think there's something there.
Yeah. There definitely is. I mean, ASMR became such a huge thing, and
did.
I mean,
It
it's everywhere, and on YouTube, there's so much of it.
By the way, ASMR stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, which is quite a word.
I think we all have a need for intimacy, and it's tapping into that. And I think it just becomes a question of what context people can accept intimacy in.
Right,
Let me ask you
right.
this. Have you ever been at the barber? The barber sort of leans in to snip a hair on the back of your head, and you almost can hear their breath in your ear, and they kind of have a nice soothing voice maybe, or maybe they're just friendly, and it almost gives you like a tingly feeling of like comfort. Do you kind of know what I'm talking about at all?
Yes, with barbers I've had out here, especially like, like in college when I used to
Or a
go-
dentist.
Yeah, because and now here's the other one. There are, and this was something that I found, I didn't know what to make of it, but there are ASMR videos of people eating. that
I don't like
I
those.
know, like those
Those make
are
me really angry and uncomfortable.
it's just so
I get mad.
it's so funny that they exist and it's just a different form of it, but
Yeah, they call it mukbang, I think.
mukbang, that's what it's what
I think it's called mukbang. It's
I
like
didn't even
people film themselves with these like
yeah.
eating and just it's disgusting. I
I
hate it.
know.
Yeah, I
It's.
don't like that.
I mean, it's yeah, because like that one I don't think is as it's kind of got like a more niche following, but it does have a
It
following because
does have,
there are a
yeah.
lot of people who do it, and it's usually like foods that make sounds like fried chicken or like noodles, like
Oh yeah.
that. Yeah, which yeah, I know.
Slurping a noodle. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah, that stuff grosses me out. I don't like people eating. I don't. I'm so glad I can't see myself when I eat. I don't like watching. I don't like watching people eat. It's like watching a cow chewing and just their jaw moving and their lips, and it's always been kind of disgusting to me. Like
yeah,
even when I was a little kid, if we had guests over who had like babies because they're so messy and gross, but especially babies because they'll like spit the spinach back up out of their mouth,
yeah.
over and over. It's so I couldn't watch it. It would turn my stomach so that I didn't want to eat and I would lose my appetite. So even as a young kid of like 10 years old, I would build a fort around me of cereal boxes when I had to eat at the table with other kids so that I couldn't see them eating.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I really hated it. I also hated watching really old people eat. Like if I mean I couldn't go into a nursing home or something, or like my grandpa really liked going to this buffet. I hated buffets. I still am a little on the edge with buffets. I don't know what to think of them, but it depends on the buffet. But
Right.
my grandpa just loved this buffet called the Golden Corral
Oh,
Mountain Home Buffet or something like that. And it would just draw all these geriatric oldies from all around the land, like 75-year-olds and up. It was all these. It looked like a nursing home in this restaurant,
yeah,
basically, except for like me and maybe one or two other kids.
yeah.
And I would just go in there and it was just people taking their dentures out first, putting it in their napkin. It was it was tough. I
Right.
hated that place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what is up with old people and these buffets? Like that was one thing that I noticed too when I came here because yeah, we don't have really like buffets. I mean we do, but they're not as popular back home. So when I came here, I would go to like country because like yeah, I would
Yeah.
go to country kitchen buffet and yeah, I would see a lot of old people over there.
Yeah.
You know?
You know
Yeah.
what this is what I think it is. I think they've lost a lot of their taste at that age. I just don't think they require food to be overly flavorful. They're like, it's a bargain. You can get 4 plates for $40, and they'll just load up with all this, usually relatively tasteless food, but they don't care because it's like they can barely taste it anyway. So they're like.
Right. Yeah. Makes sense, actually. There's definitely some allure between like buffets and old people. I think there was even a South Park episode about it. Pretty
Yeah,
entertaining.
totally. I had an interesting experience earlier this week. I don't really like sports, or at least like organized team sports. I don't follow them, but
Yeah.
I don't watch sports. Like I don't care. And that puts me in a minority of men.
Yeah.
There's always been a barricade between me and like getting close to 92% of the male population because of my lack of interest in professional sports
Right.
leagues.
Yeah.
Karan, do you care about do you watch sports?
I mean, yeah, I used to watch, I used to play
Oh,
sports, I used to watch a
yeah.
lot of
Didn't you
sports,
play
but
rugby?
yeah, in college and then in
Yeah.
school, I used to play a lot. I used to play soccer and then cricket. Yeah, so I enjoyed I sports, but yeah, these watching sports, yeah, I'm not as into it. I like it more as a social thing. Like if there are a lot of people
Yeah.
watching, like a bunch of friends watching, I'll definitely watch it. And I like that aspect of it, the social aspect of it. But if you had to take a survey and compare, I probably don't watch as much sports as most guys do. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's just some people who they're on their couch watching sports every weekend, and
they're all about
they can't miss
sports.
this or that game. They know all the statistics, and they play fantasy football, and it's just, to me, it's kind of lame, because it's like you're not gonna make more money when that guy scores. Like, you're not benefiting in any. It's not going to change your life whether that team wins or not. It's just in your mind.
Yeah.
But they identify the worth of their entire city that they're from based on how well a team does.
Yeah.
And the success of their town that they're from, in their mind, like, hinges on whether, Tom Brady makes a touchdown, whatever it is.
Right.
And I just don't understand that mentality. And in the past, there's been times I tried to get into it when I was in Boston, where people are obsessed with their teams. I tried to get into the Celtics. Because Mac was obsessed with the Celtics, and other people I knew were too.
We went and saw the Bruins game with Mac. I remember that. It was amazing. It was a lot of fun. Like that's the part about sports that I like, the celebration of things. I like that part of it.
Yes, that was fun. There were people climbing up on rooftops and yelling with excitement because the Bruins won the Stanley Cup and stuff. Yeah, that was a cool experience. I guess I don't totally get it. I'll play a sport, but I don't get being obsessed with a team. Yeah. Maybe they're betting on it, so money is on it for them. I don't know. Yeah, so recently, like this past week, this girl who was from Chicago. Chicago. The Bears. And she was, I think she was talking about the Cubs. That's a Chicago team, right?
Yes, yeah. Cubs win.
Oh, Cubs. Yeah. Was that what Harry Carey?
Yes.
Yeah. Cubs win. Cubs win. Yeah. I remember going into a box of Cracker Jacks as a kid. Yeah, you never knew what you were going to find in there. Harry Carey.
Watch the Harry Carey SNL skit. You won't be disappointed. It's got Will Ferrell as Harry Carey and Jeff Goldblum as a very confused.
My wife doesn't know where I am. Yeah. Like, so that's the Cubs. Okay, so she was talking about the Cubs.
Okay.
Cubs win. And she was talking about the Cubs, and she was like, are you really into the Ravens? Because you said that, because I said I'm from Baltimore.
Baltimore, right.
When I tell people I'm from Maryland, that's the first thing a lot of people ask is like, oh, are you really into the Ravens? I'll be honest with you. Usually what I'll do, I'll placate them. And I'll be like, yeah, it's a great team. I haven't kept up with them lately, and I don't know exactly what they're doing. And I don't always follow football. But yeah, I mean, you got to love the Ravens.
But they're like the biggest team out from Baltimore.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, they have the Orioles from Baltimore, the baseball team.
Right.
But, so they'll ask about those teams, and this girl was like, oh, so you really are you a Ravens guy? For the first time, maybe in my whole life, I answered really honestly, because I thought to myself, what is it, illegal for me to be honest about this? Like, am I not allowed to say what I need to say?
Yeah.
So I was like, to be honest with you, I just don't really care about sports. I don't watch sports. I never really have watched sports. I don't keep up with it. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
And I felt kind of good about it, because I was like, wow, it feels good to just kind of express yourself, and just
be straight.
Yeah, be straight. I mean, because why shouldn't I, right? So then she follows that up with something along the lines of, oh, really? That's kind of gay. She said, that's a little gay. I'm serious. She basically accused me of being gay because I don't watch team sports.
Right.
And so that right there, I'm going back to lying about it, first of all. But I mean, what that right there shows you is a couple things. One, people really do have this stigma that like men have to be into sports. And if you're not, you're not completely a man. You're not fully a man.
I mean, I have seen like women and girls go the other way, where they're like, they don't like guys who are really into sports and stuff. They find it kind of annoying. So I think it's like definitely.
Well, I wanted to say to her like, hey, have you ever heard music before? Do you like music? are there any bands or musicians that you've ever heard?
Yeah.
And she'd be like, yeah. And then I'd be like, okay, well, so chances are they probably didn't give a fuck about sports either because they're musicians and they're spending their days playing guitar. I mean, yeah, there are musicians who are into sports, but it's like,
No.
it's like, bitch, I don't care about sports. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just more into other things. And I mean, when I was
There's more to the world than
yeah, yes,
sports.
exactly. There's more to the world than your sports teams that you follow, believe it or not.
There is this very, very strong sports culture in the United States. I mean, there are people who define their personality based on their sports teams.
Oh
It's
God, yeah,
it's huge.
100%.
Yeah,
And they'll get
like-
angry at you if you don't know about it.
Yeah. That's what I saw when I was in Boston.
Yeah,
Everybody was.
everybody.
Yeah, it's such a part of that city. Not to say that it's bad. It's just it's just something that is definitely very prominent in certain cities, especially.
Totally. I just want to say one more positive note, just hearkening back to what we talked about when we first started this episode about being an artist or having dreams or things. I wanted to say, don't ever give up on something that is meaningful to you, no matter what, and know that success will come to you. It might not be when you want it. It might not be. It might not look exactly like you thought it would look,
Right.
but it will come when it's time or when you're ready for it. And that might not be when you want to think you're ready for it or when you want it, but it's not all on your clock. But don't give up on something that's meaningful to you, because just having something meaningful that you do or something you believe in or something that you're pursuing makes your life so much richer and more meaningful, not only to you, but to anybody who knows you or is in your orbit. And so it's 100% worth it, even just absent of the obsession about the results of whatever may come. So it may or may not look exactly like you planned or imagined, but the fact
Right.
that you're continuing along adds so much meaning to your life and
Yep.
makes you an inspiring and encouraging person for others around you.
There you go.
And it's more important than the outcome. It's more important than the outcome. Yeah.
Absolutely, that's well said. There's a glory to doing this. It can be a silent glory for the longest time, but take comfort in knowing that you're being brave when you pursue
Yeah.
something like this.
You
And
have the integrity. You're honoring something inside of you.
inside of you, and it's not always easy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's going to be easy, but like at least at the end of everything, you'll know you at least gave it a shot, which
Yeah,
is
and
more
you'll
than
know
what most people can say.
Absolutely, and you'll know that you lived your life in the most meaningful way that you could, so that you won't have regrets.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Nice. That's a good note to end on. But yeah, thanks a lot for stopping by, guys.
All right, guys. Have a good
right.
week.
Bye.
Bye.